Understand something. Plain and simple. To me, Abigail was a delicious poison. An intoxicating, overwhelming poison. Yowie wowie! That felt good! Yowie wowie. Let me in.
Oh yeah, we're back. Another Monday night. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Abby's Window. And of course, I am joined, as always, by one and only Jodie Gilly, aka Abby. What's up, Abby? How are you this week?
I'm good. Trying to get this headache to go away.
Yes, I hope that gets better soon.
But it's Monday.
But it is Monday, so you know what that means. It's time for us to discuss all things Bray Wyatt. And yeah, we got a good crowd already. Thank you guys. Already. So let me shout out some people real quick. And I'm going to not take 5 minutes to shout everybody out. I'm going to get to a point and I'm going to stop. It's not because I'm trying to skip you. It's just because, there's a lot of people here, which we greatly appreciate. So Annette Morris, CJ Butterspark, Charlie Broussard, Jason Peace, James Grant, Chloe's Bay, new name. I don't recognize that. Robert Morris, Jen Carter, Godzilla. What's up? Let's see here. Melinda Ford, Seven Fiend, Cheese with 2, Kevin Langhoff. Let's see what else we've got. Shane Loki, Trex Edie, Noob and Co. What's up? EJ Movement, Sean Suslowitz, Big Dan is in the house. John Cena Gamer 0809. Bruno Radke, another new name that I have not seen. Welcome. Robert Smith from Facebook. Sean Rousset, Cult of Wyndham, Venomized Joker. C Wrestling is in the house. Man, this is good stuff. Brian Mason, Joey's Adventures. Lily is in the chat. Lily, we're going to talk about you. Don't come after me, Lily. Please don't. Please. I got enough people I got to deal with right now. I don't need a demonic possessed doll. So, Wrestling Lane, Isaiah Perez, PCW fan 1987, joining us from Periscope. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Jodie, what do you say? We just get into it?
Yeah.
All right, let's just get into it. Saying Lily made me do it. Well, come on now. So obviously last week we got a little more from Alexa Bliss. Take us through that, Jodie, and kind of your thoughts on what we saw last week from Alexa.
So Alexa kind of had us play a little game of Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
just a little bit. And then we got a nice little jump scare. We're calm, we're relaxing, our eyes are closed, we're focusing on a happy place or whatever she said. And then Lily just pops up and, screams in our face. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, if you're not a fan of jump scares, you might have peed just a little bit. And hopefully that's not the case. And if it is, don't tell us because we don't want to make you feel bad for it. But it happens to some folks. But yeah, I like, this is going to be weird to say, but I really like Lily because she's so creepy. And I know you're not a big fan of dolls, so.
No, I'm not. I'm not a big fan of dolls or clowns, so.
Right?
I'm kind of in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, I mean, you're in trouble because I think we're going to be seeing Lily for quite some time.
Yeah.
What do you think we get next here? Because this is, I mean, this, honestly, and people don't beat me up for saying this, but I'm really liking where they're taking this with her and Little Miss Bliss. See, I caught myself because I know that I didn't turn my volume down.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what do you think is next for these two?
I think that Alexa is going to start to have her way with the women's roster.
Mm.
I think she's going to start. It's going to be slow, I think. But I think she may start to be a little bit more visible, pay some visits to some female superstars, because that's obviously, she said that's what she wants. So she wants to go wreak some havoc, kind of like Bray did in the Fiend did in the beginning. Just kind of, you never know where she's going to show up or who she's going to go after. I mean, you just never know.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know. And James Grant bringing up something great here. I hope they're making Lily dolls to sell because I want one.
Mm-mm.
Jodie's like, listen, I have about every single piece of Bray Wyatt and Fiend merch ever. This ain't gonna be one, right?
Nope. I'll pass on that one.
She's like, I'm all set on that. So
Yeah, I'll pass. I've seen Annabelle enough times to know how this works. So
yeah,
I'll pass on the Raggedy Ann looking doll.
yeah, listen, I like Lily. I'm not just saying that because Lily is in the chat and I don't want to get haunted later, but I really do. I like this. So when do you think we see Miss Bliss in the ring?
I think it's going to be a while. Like I said, I think they're going to build this really slowly, and I think they may start, kind of like the Fiend did, that, maybe she attacks someone, cost someone a match, and really build up. I mean, my knee-jerk reaction is I don't think we see Alexa actually wrestle in a match until SummerSlam.
Till SummerSlam, okay.
Yeah, I think they're going to draw this out. There'll be some more jump scares along the way that, you never know. She may end up costing Charlotte Flair her match, or she interferes in something Rhea Ripley does, or since that doll looks a lot like Kana, you might see her have some reaction with Asuka. She really does look like her. Like it's weird. Like it's really weird.
Let me see if you can pull that up. Randy Sam, what's up? We've had a lot of people join, so I probably won't catch everyone. But Jason Michael, Chad Schrader, let him in. Azan, Mito. Let's see, Rusty Shackelford. I probably already said that. All right. Randy Sam saying that I see your comment. I just saw what's up, guys. Hey, Jody. So, hello. So, all right. Let's fantasy book this real quick. Out of the names you just mentioned, and obviously I already know where I'm going with this, but out of the names you just mentioned, who would you like to see her face first?
First?
Yeah.
I think probably, I don't know about first. I know fantasy booking wise, at some point, I would love to see her go against Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
That might make sense as a first one too, because Rhea eliminated her from the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, she's got to get some payback on her. That was a little too disrespectful, I think.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Jason Michael said earlier, did you see the Vince Russo comment about Bray Wyatt? He said he said it's good, but he should be the head of writing. I agree. He said Bray should be repackaged as a psychiatrist. You know what? I don't mind that
You
at
know
all.
what? Bray in a doctor's jacket. I kind of dig it.
Right?
Like,
Shout out.
yeah, I'd be okay with that. I'd be all right with that.
Absolutely. Shout out to the legendary, and I do mean legend. Wait for it, because I hope you're not lactose intolerant, because the next part of this is dairy. Firefly Revolution. If you didn't watch How I Met Your Mother, you wouldn't have gotten that reference. Sorry about that. So,
Very funny show.
yes, great show, underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite all-time shows. Um, so I would like that. We're gonna stick a pin in that, because I want to talk about that when we talk about Bray a little bit more. We're gonna wrap up on Miss Bliss here. What's up, Jesse Callan? Let's see here. So obviously, there's gonna be a lot that happens with her and this character. So you want to see Rhea Ripley. I want to see that too. Do you think, and Butterspark brought this up a little bit earlier, do you think that this is just a copy and paste from Bray's earlier days in the Funhouse, or what differences do you see in this storyline?
I think there's a lot of differences. Obviously, I feel like they're still working together on this. I don't really feel like Alexa's just copied and pasted something out of his book and ran with it and took it, so to speak. I still think, to me, it still feels like they're doing this together. And, this is his creation as much as it, if not more so, more his than it is hers, if that makes sense. So, I mean, there's definitely differences there. We don't really have, the Fiend isn't really a puppet, so to speak, like Lily. Doesn't mean that Lily won't become a person at some point, but, the Fiend and Bray Wyatt are one and the same, the Funhouse Bray, and then you've got the Fiend. And then with Alexa, she's got her two sides as well, but now she's got this other character, and we don't know where that's going to go. It's almost like Lily's kind of the Abby to Bray's Funhouse.
Yeah, I like that. Do you think we see anything from them tonight?
I hope so.
I'm not talking about Bray yet. I'm talking about Miss Bliss and Lily.
It depends. I don't think we're going to get both. I think we've been spoiled with that, of getting a funhouse and a playground. So I think it's time to let Bray have his week and kind of respond to everything that she's done, or, we'll see. But I don't think we're going to get both. I think we'll get one or the other.
Well, folks, this is what we call, wow, but the buff carrot saying he's watching while taking a wicked dump. Okay. I've heard that my voice can be used as a laxative before, so hope I'm helping you get things out smoothly, my friend. Alex Redford saying, and the attacker is Miss Bliss and Lily.
Huh?
For who?
For who?
Yeah, for who? Brian Nason saying Wyatt or Riot.
Yes.
Alex, he's new here. Welcome.
Welcome.
I want to ask you this question too. Oh God. Okay. I'm not even.
No.
No, I'm not.
Do you see Aleister Black's father as a Sister Abigail ripoff? No. Although it would be interesting if these stories kind of intertwine.
Yeah, that would be pretty
Especially
cool.
now that someone's not on SmackDown anymore. Could we see a possible trade happening?
You know what? That's what we in the business. Follow the segue. Because this was the last time we saw this young man. So
Too damn long, Mr. Wyatt. Too damn long.
too long. So you bring up a valid point. I know a lot of people have been asking you. We'll get here, but you kind of already answered. You know, does this is he going to be on the show tonight? But what if he's not on the show tonight? What if he's on a show Friday? Do you think that's a possibility?
I'm about 50-50 on it. Because I think, I don't know, but USA wanted that dark, edgier content. Is Fox kind of shooting themselves in the behind now, going, well, crap, it really worked, so let's have him back. I don't know if he was happy on SmackDown and preferred to be at Raw because USA was going to give him, if they were going to give him more creative freedom on what he wanted to do. So I could see him going back to SmackDown as a trade. But at the same time, my concern would be, is he going to go back to a show that's not going to let him do it Bray's way?
Well, I would venture to say that with a lot of the shakeups that we've seen, I would be inclined to believe that maybe, just maybe, Jason Jordan and Nick Khan and others will allow these wrestlers to have more input going forward. Because I think if they've been observant at all, they would realize that people think that a lot of these promos and moments are way too scripted. And some of the wrestlers look rigid.
And, that's a way to separate him and Alexa, but still keep them together, if that makes sense. Then you've pretty much got the feeling of Bray Wyatt on both shows.
Right. His universe.
Yeah, it might give me a good reason to actually start watching SmackDown again.
I love SmackDown. I mean, it's been.
I'm kidding. I haven't been not watching it. I'm at the point where I'm like half paying attention.
Yeah.
It's on in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Butterspark saying too damn long. Time to rampage again like it's 2019.
Yes, Bray, please let the Fiend go on a murder spree again. That was so damn entertaining. I loved it. Just, pop up 3 times during Raw on random people. Or not random people, but I just, yeah. Just go throw out, be like Oprah. You get a Sister Abigail, and you get a mandible claw, and you get a mandible claw. Everyone gets a mandible claw.
Let's see. Big Dan says Bray honestly doesn't fit with what Fox is doing with SmackDown. I think he fits better on Raw. Besides, if he goes back, he's just going to be behind Roman, and it's not time for him and Roman, in my opinion. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I don't think it's time. I don't want him. Let's just put it that way. I don't want him in that picture. One, because Roman's
it's Roman Reigns.
Right. I mean, he's just going to win anyway.
Right.
So that's how they have him booked right now. It is what it is. But there are some interesting matchups potentially on SmackDown for him that we haven't seen. So kind of like I asked you with Miss Bliss, if he ends up on SmackDown, let's throw Roman out of the picture. Who do you want to see him up against?
There's so many. I mean, you could. We got a very little blurb with Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see that come back to fruition. You could have him get in another feud with Seth. You've got Braun Strowman that he could get in another feud with. You could definitely revisit some of these old feuds again. Oh gosh, Bray versus Big E. He did have a nice big stint with the New Day, so
That is where I wanted to go. I was going to bring that up. If you can give me Bray versus Big E, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
If you can give me somehow Bray versus Sami Zayn, I'm in, because it's new, it's different.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I kind of feel like a lot of us, when we talk about being Bray fans, we think about everything that's happened in the past and how it ties to different stories now. Mm-hmm. But do you think, in order for people to, and Lily, for everyone that's in the chat, is actually Dalton. So what's up, Dalton? Hope you're good, man. But do you think that in order for people to kind of get it again, instead of him, retracing steps, do you think it'd be cool for him to kind of go after new people?
As long as it makes sense to him. I don't want him to feel like he's forced into matches just to do new things. I definitely, it's got to make sense to him and fit into whatever story it is that he's trying to tell. Jeff Hardy would be a really good feud as well. And we've been talking about that for months. Put him in a feud with Jeff Hardy. That'd be great. They've got all this history with, Wyatt family and the Hardy Boys, and that match that he had with Matt Hardy. And, there's so much history there. So I'd love to see him versus Jeff Hardy. I think it'd be fantastic.
Absolutely.
It's just, for me, I want it to make sense to him. I want him to have feuds that make sense to him.
Yeah. I mean, I think the last thing that we want to see at this point is him thrown back into the title picture.
Please.
Not because we don't want to see him be champion again, but I think it's just because right now we know how the top of the card is going to be booked on SmackDown. Like we already know.
Yeah.
CJ saying Jeff Hardy versus Bray needs to happen. Yeah. Wait, how long have we? I mean, I know it's been months, but what, 6-7 months probably?
Mm-hmm.
Really, ever since Jeff came back.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jeff and
I really wouldn't mind seeing everybody still wants the Demon versus the Fiend.
Yeah.
Take my money.
James Grant saying Bray versus Shinsuke, I would be 100% behind. I would absolutely love to see Bray and Shinsuke like that. Oh my God.
I think that. And obviously, that at some point, Roman's going to be a big part of this story. I would just really like him to be a big part of it without any belts involved.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like there's just so many matchups I feel on SmackDown that I feel like it would breathe new life. It's just like you said, does it make sense from a story perspective? Like, can you tie it into the past somehow?
Mm-hmm. And that's where I want him to be. If that means that he stays on Raw and things happen there, I'm fine with that. If that means he goes on SmackDown and there's a whole bunch of new people for him to feud with that makes sense to him, I'm happy with that too. I just want him to be where it makes sense to him, not where people want him to be.
Yeah. Trex Edie saying, what if Lily is the urn that contained the Undertaker's power? Hmm.
So she contains Alexa's power?
That'd be interesting.
Well,
Folks,
I mean, that's definitely, you tie that into horror movies again. There's a reason why, Annabelle is locked in a glass bulletproof case. It's blessed by a priest once a month.
yeah. So, big question that I'm seeing, Jody, in the chat. When are we going to see Bray again? Like, because I feel like at this point, this is directed towards WWE. Like I have to put it back up there because it's great. It was a great moment. But WWE be wilding, man. Like they need to get this man back on television. So when are we gonna see him again?
Hopefully tonight. I think it could definitely happen tonight. We've had 2 weeks of Alexa Bliss. Time to bring him back. He did say that he'd be back with new friends and a whole new me. So, yes, I do know more than I care to admit about Ed and Lorraine Horn. Firefly Revolution said, I know everything about Annabelle, like him. So, yeah. I've done my research. So, I definitely could see us getting something tonight for sure. Because we don't know, we don't know. Maybe there was a reason that he wasn't, on Raw last week. I mean, you never know. They just came off of the first live event with fans. You don't know who they came in contact with. Maybe that something weird happened and a bunch of people had to isolate. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe he's just being careful since he's got kids at home. He was around a bunch of people and fans. Maybe I just need to take a couple weeks off just to make sure everything's good to go.
And I mean, I get it. Firefly Revolution saying he was already gone for 3 months. We don't need him off TV again. I get that.
Yeah, but we also want him to be safe. We want everybody to be safe. So
exactly. Now, this has been brought up 2 times now in the chat, and I feel like we're an all things Bray show, so we got to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this weasel. I'm sorry, not a weasel. That's an insult.
it's an insult to the weasel.
That's an insult to the weasel.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Did you see Jim Cornette's comments on Bray Wyatt?
I didn't read them for myself because, quite frankly, I don't give a shit what he has to say. But yeah. I heard about them, yes.
Yes. I mean, you kind of made it clear right then what you feel about those comments. But for the people that just don't get it, because for people like him, they want to see your 70s and 80s wrestling where it's not about the character development as much. I mean, it's about your ability to cut a good promo. Character-wise, character building in the 70s and 80s is a lot different than what it has been since the 90s and to today. So what do you feel about this dude? Because my goodness, he's a clown. But go ahead.
I don't think he would know good character development if it screwed him in the asshole.
That's a clip right there. I gotta go back and clip that. Does character development buy him dinner first?
No.
Okay, well, I figured I'd ask. He doesn't deserve the courtesy though. But he's an idiot. Yeah, I want to read it. Thank you, Conrad. Conrad just sent me the comment, and Russ said, "Jody, next time, give me a warning, earmuffs." Um,
There wasn't a nice, clean way to put that.
there's no PG
Really.
to say that he sucked and he deserves to get destroyed on the interwebs. So um, here's the quote. He says, "Every time we see him, it's garbage. I mean, the whole thing, the Firefly vignettes, the whole thing is an embarrassment to the business." You, sir, Jim Cornette, are a huge embarrassment to the business. I will give you credit where credit is due. What you did for the business when you got in was great. You were a great manager, all those things. But you, sir, are stuck in the past. You are stuck in a time that doesn't get this kind of stuff. And you also crap on a lot of other stuff too. And that's fine. But you know what? There are no more Hulk Hogan's walking around. You don't have Harley Race walking around. You don't have Vader. You don't have the same type of stuff that you had back then. So you know what? Either get on board with the new school, or just go watch, like go get Peacock and watch all the old stuff back. I mean, that's just,
Obviously, dude has dementia, because that's typically what you see with people who have dementia. I think sometimes Vince McMahon has it as well. They focus on past because they have short-term memory loss and can't appreciate things that are happening to them right now.
yeah, I feel like this guy, he probably got hit too hard in the head with this tennis racket. Like when wrestlers would take it from him back in the day, he probably got hit with it a little too hard. So,
I'm gonna stand by what I said. There's no better way to put it.
no, I mean that's like if you feel that way about Jim Cornette, honestly, like that clip is for you. Like when I clip that, that's for you. So anytime you need to share that, just feel free to share it, because I feel like a lot of people just need to say that to him and just be done with it. Kevin Hefner is saying this is the same guy who slapped around Santino because he wasn't making the boogeyman. Yes, the boogeyman looked gold. I mean, thank you. Thank you. I mean, listen, I love the boogeyman. Love the boogeyman. But let's just be honest. The boogeyman wasn't over because of his wrestling abilities. Okay? I mean, it's just a fact. And I love the boogeyman. But he wasn't over because of the wrestling prowess. Let's just say that. I think that Cornette should return to WWE for Legends Night. I think the Fiend should show up on SmackDown, not Legends Night, but old school SmackDown. I think the Fiend should show up and mandible claw his butt, just like
I
Kevin.
think you should show up for Legends Night and be covered in dog food.
Ooh. There you go.
They did it to Roman Reigns, so
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. Bliss fan is asking real quick because I got a little bit of a comment that I wanted to ask you about when it comes to whatever we may see in terms of a new persona. But let's see here. I kind of lost my place. Someone said I had something else. Oh, is Bray going to get his win over Orton at some point?
I think so.
Yeah.
Highly confident.
Yeah. What's up, Nathan?
It's not over yet.
Yeah. What's up, Amaya? Thank you for joining. Yeah, I mean, I think they just press pause for right now. because apparently people really love the stuff with Orton and Matt Riddle. Um, honestly, I feel like that's a really cool way to show another side of Orton is to put him with somebody like Riddle, because it shows like, yes, he's the Viper and he's a sadistic dude, but I mean, he's got a fun side too. So, and inevitably he's gonna screw Riddle over at some point. And I just want to see that happen too. So,
Of course. You know that's gonna happen.
it's gonna happen. Butter Spark saying no mandible claw for Cornette, just a good old ass kicking.
I'm cool with that too.
Exactly. Lily saying, let's cover him in dog poop.
Hey, takes one to know one.
Oh, yeah.
You are what you wear. Then it would fit,
That's true.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
At least then, he would smell like his personality.
Sure. That's true. I have so many things that I want to say about him, but I think I'm going to save that until Saturday because, gosh, I want to air some grievances on this dude. And I thought I was going to do it on Saturday, but I had too much to say about all excuses, whatever, and not.
No, it's absolute extreme wankers.
That's another good one.
That's what I'm going with. That's their new name.
That's another good one. But I have a little bit of a thought for you. So let's say for whatever reason we do get a changed persona. Do you think it's possible that we get some type of crazy mixture? Because yes, I'm still stuck on this evangelist part. Do you think it's fun? Like, do you think it's possible we get a crazy mixture between an evangelist and a psychiatrist?
As long as it involves Bray Wyatt wearing a white doctor's coat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm totally cool with that. I definitely think you're hitting on something with the evangelist part. I have kind of a long-term theory about where Bray's going with all of this. Not quite ready to share it yet. Shared it with a couple of people. But I definitely think you've hit on that. Struck a nerve there a little bit with the evangelist Funhouse Bray. I think we may see a little bit more of an evolution of that.
Yeah, I would. Mother Spark saying, "Thank you. Please go crazy on Cornette later this week." Oh, I will. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got some stuff I can say on Saturday. Yeah, I feel like we got that glimpse at that for a reason. Because that's not a typical, like, that's something that was new.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And we have seen him be a doctor before.
That's true.
We've seen Dr. Bray calling Abby a bully.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I definitely think we're going to get something new. Some more of a little bit of an evolution of this Funhouse Bray character. Obviously, we've seen the Fiend kind of evolve and be reborn. And Bray did say that he felt reborn and he felt great and he looked great, obviously. So I definitely think this could keep going down that path a little bit and we get something a little bit new. And I would love that.
Same here. Firefly Revolution saying, gotta talk about this. What about Brock returning and taking the belt off of Lashley? Then they do a Fiend versus Brock for the belt, since the report says that Brock is returning to face Lashley.
So, Brock and Bray were supposed to have this match that never was. And I would love to get that going again. But I actually really like that feud. And we have seen Bray play a psychiatrist before on Twitter, but he deleted all those tweets.
That's true. Big thing.
He was Dr. M.
That's right. Big Dan saying, what about benevolent Bray? Could it be along the lines of Word of Mercy, where he shakes his opponent's hand, and when the bell rings, he snaps, and after the match, he asks his opponents for forgiveness?
I could see that. That was one of my favorite things that Alexa did. I can't remember. I think it was in that match with Nikki Cross where she turned back into old Alexa.
Yeah.
And she kind of cried there for a minute. Like she didn't know what was going on. And I wouldn't mind seeing something similar to that. That, he kind of snaps into a trance when that bell rings and then snaps out of it after the bell's done. I wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah. Same. Big Mike is in the house. What's up, Big Mike? Michael Marone saying, can I get a shout out, please? My birthday was April 29th, the same day as my oldest son. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Absolutely. Rusty is talking about him versus Tony Khan. Book it. Hey,
I will be your cheerleader.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man. What kind of match is it, Rusty? Let me know. Like, is it a no DQ, last man standing? Let me know.
It's a race car match. It's not a match. It's a race.
Oh man. So Bruce Phillips saying AEW, which he does a lot. So hey, it's all good. Each your own AEW. All of us just have very different things that those letters stand for at this point. For right now. So
like absolutely extreme wankers. Yeah. I'm sticking with that one.
You said what now?
I'm sticking with that one. Uh-oh. I think Jeff froze. Did you freeze? Oh, no. Jeff froze. So it's just me. So throw out your questions. I want to know them all. I hope they're not keeping Bray off TV just to wait to screw Alexa over. I don't think that's why Bray's off of TV. I think there's probably something obviously something going on that we don't know, but just be patient with it. What if Bray is Alistair's dark father? So I can definitely see that happening. That's definitely an interesting angle, although the dark father looks a lot like Undertaker. So, hey, it's just me now. That's really creepy. So I can definitely see that going in that direction. I wouldn't mind that going in that direction. I really love for these stories to overlap. There's definitely a lot to dig into with Alistair's story. I'm not quite sure if they're going to overlap, but I would like for them to. Is there another doll on the rocking horse? I thought that too, Rusty. I was wondering, it was Lily the one on the swing all along? Remember how you were saying that, it was the Fiend or Bray on the other swing? Maybe it was Lily all along and it wasn't the Fiend. So then who's on the rocking horse? Because the rocking horse was moving too. So we could get another one on the rocking horse. So Jeff is having thunderstorms and it knocked him out. So he said, keep talking. Jody, when is Bray posting the butterfly or moth on his Twitter? I don't know. I've been kind of waiting for that one too. Like, when is this? What? Yeah, I've been kind of waiting for that one too. All we got with those weird dad tweets. We're like, what? Huh? What does that even mean? I still believe there's a long story in play with Bray showing the Book of Revelation scripture talking about death on the white horse. That's kind of where my long-term theory goes that I'm not quite ready to talk about yet. But I think there's a bigger picture here, and we're kind of missing the point. I promise I'll do it at some point. I'm just not quite there yet. But I think there's a bigger message here. How many times can Rusty say puppet watch when he's ordering food in the drive-thru? I'm not sure I want to know the answer to that. Although, funny story. We were on Skype. Was it Skype? Hey, you're back. We were on Skype, and it was me and C and Jesse and Tazzy. And Tazzy's neighbors were hammering something into the wall. And we dared him to yell at the top of his lungs, "Puppet watch!" And he did. And it was absolutely hysterical. So there's my funny story. Welcome back, Jeff.
This time it wasn't the computer; it was the internet. So at least I'm back.
Firefly Revolution was there as well. Sorry, you don't talk a whole lot, so.
Gotcha. Well, I feel like I just missed out on a lot. So what are we talking about?
Kevin brought up an interesting point about Bray going into the Book of Revelation as this character goes forward. I was saying that's kind of my long overarching theory. That there's a biblical story to tell here.
Yeah.
So
there, yeah.
And then Rusty said, how many times can he say puppet watch in a drive-thru? Which led me to my funny story about Tazzy saying that when his neighbors were hammering something in the wall. They did shut up for about a minute, though. But then they started again. And, that didn't work out very well, did it?
That reminds me of one of my favorite movies, Super Troopers. And saying meow when they pull the guy over. Like, license and registration, meow. Like, what? Did you just say meow? Do I look like a cat to you, boy? Oh, let me stop. Yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time. So,
well, if I'm going for one that really wants to make me laugh, I'm going to go for Old School.
Yes. Love Old School. Love Old School. So, if we get Bray, let's say we get him tonight.
I'll be happy.
You'll be happy. But where do you think this is going next?
I don't know. This is the first time that I'm kind of, I don't know. I could see him, like I said, starting to go off on his own and going after, Jeff Hardy or some other kind of feud. But I can also see him, sorry. I could also see him going after Alexa in a way. I don't know. I don't know.
Sean saying, and this time isn't because my internet is going bad. Sean saying WWE Shop tweeted out the Fiend shirts 3 hours ago. Maybe something tonight, hopefully.
I hope so. Yes, Dumb and Dumber's a good one too.
Yeah, that is a really good one. Bliss fan saying, I really don't want an intergender feud.
Now's the right time to do it, though.
Yeah.
Like, you can still have those cinematic elements right now because you're not bringing fans back. and probably won't bring fans back until SummerSlam. So any of those cinematic matches that you want, you could definitely get those not out of the way, but you definitely do them.
Yeah. I mean, and there are a few ways too that you could do it. I mean, you could do it over several weeks as a recorded thing for Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Have them interacting with one another and do it that way. And honestly, I mean, then you get both on screen and they're interacting at this point. So
I will say I don't think. When is the next pay-per-view?
it's WrestleMania Backlash May.
2 weeks away? 3 weeks away?
Yeah, I believe it's May 16th.
That's 2 weeks away. I will say I don't think Fiend has a match. I don't think he will have a match.
Even through the weird and cryptic stuff with John Morrison.
Yes. Unless, I don't think he'll have a match. If he does, he may interfere somewhere. I could see that, but I don't see him having a match, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're just pawns in this equation. Vince likes to, you know, tug at our heartstrings and make us really, really angry. So eventually there will be one of those days where we're like, look, we're going to go picketing outside of his house with, you know, signs saying Wyatt or Riot. Like right now we're just on social media, but I'm kidding. But, you know, we love our Bray. We don't want him on TV all the time because, you know, that character needs to be made special. But, you know, it's time. It's time for Bray to step into the spotlight tonight.
James Grant saying so far, the only report is if Bray has a match, it will be against Miss Bliss in a cinematic match at Mania Backlash. So, okay.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean.
Fun fact, I get to go see Mr. Scarborough here in a month.
Ooh. Any details on the new piece, or is it a surprise?
It's not a Bray piece.
Okay.
I thought about it. But no, it's not a Bray piece.
Not a Bray piece.
No. But I'm excited about it.
See, again, I want my first piece of ink to be from Mr. Scarborough. Like, I really do.
I'm excited. This will be my second from Mr. Scarborough.
Yeah, I need to get some ink. I need to. I gotta, you know, I waited so long in life. I mean, I might as well go ahead and start doing it now. So.
When people say it becomes like an addiction, they weren't kidding. Like, I never believed that until after I got my first one. And I was like, that hurt really bad, but I kind of want another one. And then after that, you're like, now I kind of want another one.
Yeah.
5 tattoos later.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm afraid of, is that I'm going to get one. And Sean is saying it's addicting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I need to figure that out. See, Big Dan, don't give me ideas like that. That's pretty cool. I like that. So
How can do that?
I know he can. I already know what I want. And I know that if I get it done, he's the only person that can do it any justice at all. Like, I already know that.
That was a good one.
Butterspart saying, Jeff, get a Lily tattoo.
No.
I like Lily. Yeah, I don't know about all that. But yeah, so hopefully we get something tonight.
Hmm.
What are your odds? I know did you say already 50-50 that he ends up going to SmackDown?
I'm about 50-50 on whether or not he goes to SmackDown. Yeah, I'm still 50-50. Because there's a lot he can do on SmackDown, but I think Raw is going to give him the better creative freedom.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Plus, I think again, I don't think Fox necessarily. Um, I don't want to say they don't get it because they do, and they were thriving when he was on the show. But I think they've kind of moved in the Roman direction, and all their chips are in that basket at this point.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't mind seeing the Fiend versus Bobby Lashley.
Non-title,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'd love to see that. Love to see that.
I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah. Sonny Wolf, hey, better late than never. It's all good. We're actually about to wrap, but Jodie, any final thoughts or things that people need to watch for tonight, hopefully, or what? Give us some final thoughts.
I'm sorry I wasn't as enthusiastic. The good news is my headache is just back on though. So thank you. You guys helped me out of my headache.
There you go.
Caffeine headache.
There you go.
I don't know what kind of headache it was, but
Um,
enjoy Raw tonight.
yes.
If we get a fun house, enjoy it. If we don't get a fun house, enjoy it anyway. I know that we will get a fun house at some point.
At some point. At some point. Mito saying I look like Kamala. I don't, okay. I mean, maybe next time I'm just not gonna wear a shirt and just hit my stomach the whole time. That's paint my face up a little bit. That's all. Like Kamala. So yeah, I look a little bit rough right now because I haven't shaved in a couple of days, and that's beside the point. But anyway,
just click your heels 3 times and say puppet watch. No more headache.
there you go. There you go. Well, I gotta put this back up here because I feel like we always need to end on a fun note. Just remember, witches be wildin', man. Witches be wildin'. So, what do you say? We do this again next Monday?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. All right, folks. Thank you for checking us out this evening. If you have not already done so, please put a like on the video. Let us know that you enjoyed the show. And if you are new, please, please, please consider subscribing. We would greatly appreciate it. And Abby's window is on every Monday at 6. Then Joe and I are back on Thursdays for Impact Watch Along. So that'll be fun. Then we don't have anything on Fridays for now, but we will have Hot Tag in a couple months. So stay tuned for that. And on Saturdays, we have the Insiders Wrestling Podcast where we break down the week that was in wrestling. And we also air some grievances and talk a lot of crap about some people who need to have that crap talked about them. So somehow that's become the favorite segment of the show. So I think you guys just like to see our blood pressure get raised. So love you guys. Thank you so much for rocking with us and watching tonight. And we will see you again soon. Take care, everyone.
that's not gonna get